a couple of minutes.
Where you going?
19. This is so. No, it's not fluctuating. It's going down. Like down, down.
Sit down, sit down.
I want to stay.
Okay. Thank you, Sanazda. So there are a couple things that I wanted to talk about today because I have more than one topic that I want to cover. The first topic that I want to cover is stuff that I want to get right after the quarantine, meaning that stuff that are kind of financial rather than actually emotional. There's a lot of emotional impacts and emotional gain versus the what's it called, the financial gain. There's a lot of difference between the financial gain and the actual gain that we do whenever we actually have our emotions set to it. So the first thing that I want to the first things that I want to get talking about, like the the financial standpoint. So the very first thing is the 3 extra holes in my ears. That's what I want to do. I want to fill it up with holes. Like I want the whole thing to be all holes in my ears. Okay, my sister's right outside. She said she's gonna go eat, but she just didn't. So 3 more holes in my ears. I want my ears to be filled up with freaking holes right here. You know what I'm talking about? So that it just looks good. Another thing is the gold necklace. I want a gold necklace that goes up to here. And I want a new phone. I want Chelsea boots. The ones right now they're $16. I don't know about later, but $16 is a bargain. Honestly, I think it's pretty good just because they're really nice boots and stuff like that. So I will get them just for the sakes of optometry school. So if I did go back to optometry school, I would get those Chelsea boots because they're actually very professional, and they also look very nice. They're pointy and all that. So it's really, really nice. I think they're gonna be a good addition to my clothes collection. So another thing is the eyelash curler. So I want eyelash curlers for the end of my eyes. So right now I have this right here. And yeah, and another thing I need a posing oil. So I need my body to fucking shine. I want this to fucking shine. I'm talking shine, like shine so much to the point like it's obvious that it's shiny, because I'm the kind of person that look really good when I'm shining. I don't look good when I'm like not shining at all. Or for example, I need my hair to be super shiny. I need my body to be super shiny and my face to shine. I need to be shining. I'm talking shine, next level shiny. And I'm already tan, so I don't need to worry about that. But besides that, what else? Posing oil, eyelash curler, Chelsea boots, nose job if possible. I'm not gonna kill myself over the nose job. If it doesn't happen, I look good anyways. So just think about it like that, and hopefully it should happen, because usually when I focus too much on something or when I think too much about something, it ends up not happening. And that the reason for that, the major reason for that, is because I think about it too much. So it stays in my head so much. I think everything, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that in order to reach this and this. But in reality, what I need to do is just forget about it, have it in the back of my head, and then regaining it whenever I'm actually capable of doing it. Otherwise, I don't want to waste my time doing anything like that. There's other things for me to focus on. There's my eye gestures. I have lazy eyes that I gotta get rid of. All of that. So I have lazy eyes that I gotta get rid of. My head has to move right as I'm talking. Like right now, my head, I feel, even right now, I feel like I'm not as comfortable talking as I used to. Like I'm not even focused on the points. I'm almost just focused on the way of talking. That is because I'm actually improving and continuing to improve the way that I speak. So the first thing that I have to do is that I have to reconnect a lot less. And when I do reconnect, I know exactly what I'm saying. So look around, talk, and especially look down. I feel like looking down looks really, really good. So continue looking down. It actually also gives a feeling of security, because you do remember yourself, you're talking and everything. So looking down is really important. And in any conversation, just look down and move my head and use my fucking head. I'm talking, use my head. It's so, so important. So continue doing that. As for my hands, and even as for my speech, I have to speak a lot slower. So meaning that I have to talk way slower. So talk slower and then have bursts of speed, but talk majorly slower. On average, talk slower. Why? Because it gives me the chance of actually regaining and retrieving information in my head. So that is the only reason that I would talk slower. So just remember, it's okay to talk slower. It's okay to move my head. Usually people who know how to talk more, they're the ones who actually move their head, not the ones that don't know how to talk. It's always the people who know how to talk more. So use my head and don't be so afraid of using it. So just use it a lot. And just remember, it looks really good when I move my head. It just looks good. I know right now, as of right now, I don't have an exact way of using my head, but in the future, if I continue using it, if I continue putting it as part of what I do, part of what I say, is gonna be really, really good looking. So just continue using my head, and remember, it is right. It is right to use my head, and just speak slower, and yeah, add who I told myself to add, and I'm looking good as fuck. I don't know. Keep my head down. So I need to learn. Okay, so now I finished for my from the financial standpoint, the stuff that I want to get. If I actually had the financial stability, now goes second, and that goes for the emotional standpoint, or the standpoint that I actually can do myself right now, right this minute, which is the first thing is improving eye gestures. So my eye gestures, here's the thing, a nose can never stand in the way of smart eyes. Smart eyes can shine right through. Beautiful eyes and beautiful eye gestures can shine right through a big nose. A nose cannot stop someone from having nice eyes or having a nice personality. All that is not related. Now, because I know it's not related, now what do I have to do? I have to actually work on the stuff that I can work on, so that for the future, if I ever did my nose as the last thing, just remember, I look good right now. Perfect my eyes, perfect my shine, perfect everything that I see in my body. Pretend as if I already have done my nose job. I don't need to go back and forth if I haven't done it. Now, when I do it, then I'm gonna improve all that. Wrong. What I gotta do is that start out by improving everything from start to finish, legit from start to finish. Improve everything from top to bottom, straight from the bottom of my head. Don't ever like think, once I do my nose I'm gonna do this, or once I do this I'm gonna do, no. Things are about to get perfected in terms of personality, in terms of my eyebrows, in terms of how I see, in terms of where I look when I talk, all of that. I want to improve my eye gestures, my hand behavior, my face behavior. So I have a lot to improve. Having my face move is a really interesting point to add to myself, because face movement needs to be a little bit more natural. I know I'm not doing it natural right now. It's just because I'm just practicing it. So it's only natural to have it not go very naturally. So just remember that moving my head looks really, really good. Continue moving my head, whether it is like this, and whenever I say the next day or the next time, do that. Like always use my head. Using large words and looking and sounding smarter. So I need to use much larger words. The word count that I need to use is much larger. Now for my hands, always use them like this or like this. So the word count needs to be much larger. Now why does that happen? That happens, and also when I do this, like let's say I move it fast, and then the last one has to be slow. So I need a large word count. Why do I need a large word count? Is because when having a word count, it means that you have a lot of knowledge in the back of your head. Now, why do you have a lot of knowledge in the back of your head? Because you're using much bigger words. See, I'm using my hands up here. Because you're using much bigger words. Now, do not ever use my hands up here. My hands have to be down here all the time. It just looks better. It just is. It looks a lot more powerful. Usually hands up here don't look as powerful. So what I need to do, I need to understand the power of using my hands down here. That's the first thing. And also understanding how good it looks to actually use my hands down here rather than up there. Just don't do it. It just doesn't look good. Just don't do it. So right here, right now, I brought my hand up right here. So it needs to be like this. So always have my hands down here. Always. Okay, right now in the whole video, I'm going to be talking with my hands down here. I'm going to actually say the story that me and my sister experienced yesterday. It was a legit creepy ass story. I think I'm gonna start it in the next video, because in this video, you know what, I'm just gonna do it in this video because I'm right at it. I'm right here. So I'm just gonna start the video. And yeah, so the first thing that I want to talk about is that yesterday me and my sister were sitting down in this safe ass neighborhood that we have, And right, all of a sudden we're sitting and we don't have no shades because my mom never got us shades in the past, and she's just like, oh, I'll get shades whenever I find shades that I actually like. But those shades never came, so we just stayed without shades the whole time. So what ended up happening is that me and my sister were sitting down in the kitchen. We're sitting downstairs in the kitchen, and I was like looking at funny videos. Me and my sister were just sitting down, chilling out, and then all of a sudden, right out of the blue, we hear a voice of a lady screaming, and it was just a loud voice, almost like she was being violated. It obviously was that she was being violated in one way or the other. It is so obvious that someone was just on this lady's back and she was screaming. And what happened was, my first thing that I did, I closed the lights to see what was going on, because that's what I do. So I closed the lights and I rush upstairs because that's what I ended up doing, and I ended up calling my parents because it's a safety threat. That was a safety threat. Now, when I went upstairs, I called my parents downstairs, and everybody was downstairs. I'm using my hand up here. Everybody was downstairs. They came downstairs, and then my mom and my dad, they just stood there, and they were like, listen to it. And then that voice ended up going so far off. It was so far off to the point it obviously looked like whoever was doing this shit actually took the victim far off. It didn't even stay there. It just took the victim way far off. And so then when my parents came, they were just like, oh, that's a voice of a cat. It's not a voice of a human. It's not a voice of a woman. It's not a voice of this, and it's not the voice of that. Now, I believe that it was obviously a voice of a human. And they heard it, and they said, oh, don't worry, it's a cat, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking that the next day the police would be there. But to my surprise, everything was the same. Everything was just the same. So just remember, stay safe, and that's it. But that's what I've been noticing. And the other day, oh, stuff to do. I forgot this part. Stuff to do. Okay, I might reiterate it. I might reiterate it in the next video. But as of this video, I need to actually talk about this because this is something that is really, really important in terms of behaviors and stuff like that. So the first thing that I have to add to my personality is number one is looking down. I need to add that to my personality. Number two is using my head. It's so important to use my head. Number three is to not reconnect every once in a while, as if I need somebody to actually agree with me. Oh my God, my eyes, they have like oils in them. Oh my God. Don't reconnect every once in a while as if I want someone to agree with me. Don't ever do that. There is no need to do that. So whatever happens, just look around. Like right now, I don't need to be looking at the video the whole time. My eyes, I can't fucking see with them. Yeah, so the first thing is that always never reconnect so often. Don't reconnect so fucking often. There is no need for me to keep reconnecting every once in a while. Just don't do it. It doesn't look good. It just looks like I'm actually asking for validation every time I'm actually doing something. So that's the first thing. So stop reconnecting every once in a while. Stop reconnecting. There is no need to do it. I'm important enough. And if somebody's not listening, point it out, ridicule it. People like that. I don't care what they say. Even if they were my parents, they fucking love that. So just remember this. Thing number two, what was it? Goddamn it, what was it? Whenever there is a story about someone of the opposite gender, have my sister say it, or have someone else say it. Never be the one actually saying it, because whatever I say is gonna look like that's what I want have happen, and that's not the case at all. So just always remember that whenever something like this happens, whenever there's like a story that involves someone from the opposite gender, have someone say it for me. Now, why do I say that? Is because it looks better. Because if I say it, it looks like this is what I wanted to have happen. Now, this is not what happened. That's not what happened at all. So just have the other person say it, and you just be like, yep, she said it, like that. That's how my reaction has to be. It has to be like, she said it. I didn't say nothing. So listen to her. Like I don't, whatever. Let's say my sister said, "Oh, this happened and this happened and this happened." So what I have to say, is that she said it like that, and don't go in details. This is something that women do. It looks so ugly, talking it out. Another thing is too much detail. It's all feminine things, and they look so fucking bad. So just remember, because they look so fucking bad, I know I can't. It's not something for me to do. So just delete it out. Don't say so much. Don't say so much detail. Just go on and talk. Speak generally, and don't go into the details. Be like, I don't know about the details. I don't want to go into the details. Just too much details. Don't go over in the details, because that actually makes me lose some of my respect, and also makes a person look like they're not as important. So what has to happen? What has to happen is that the other person, if anything happens, don't say it unless there was a person and they're the ones saying it. Otherwise, there's no need for me to go back and forth. Oh, this happened or that happened. No, just go on and have the other person narrate it, and that way I just interject briefly. And that's it. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need to actually just be like, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. Just too much. Don't do that. It just looks bad. And something else that I have to do is that move my hands like this and move up. This is what, like, so I go like this. So this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying. Like, this is what I was saying. And you keep like, it's really, I can't believe this happened. And you make it slower at the ends like this. Yeah, so I'm gonna check it out right now. I don't know. I don't know how this video is gonna end.